I've got a special surprise for you guys. I've dug one of my old cars out that haven't been on the channel probably in over a year. If anything, I think it's more like 2 years, and it's been about a year since I last drove it. I'll spin you around and I'll show you what it is. That's right, the Turbo Metro has been pulled out of retirement. Now I've got a little bit of a different video to come of me pulling it out of retirement, getting it all started and stuff like that, and doing some additional work to it so we can get it back to the dyno. But in this video that I thought that I could put as an in-betweener video while I'm doing the other bits and waiting for a few parts. I don't want to cram it all into one video because YouTube retention and all that sort of stuff, people get bored. So I thought I'd just do a quick little video on replacing the Bootlid. Now I know it's nothing too exciting, but it's something that needs to be done. Again, I'll spin you around and I'll show you the reason why I want to do this. So ever since I got the car, it's had this nasty dent in this panel, and it's really annoying me. And not only that, we've got a bit of a crease going on up here. So what I've done is I've gone onto the Bay of Ease and I picked myself up a new Bootlid, say new, second hand. It's been delivered, it's cost me 90 quid I think it was. It's in colour and it's ready to be bolted on. Now again, it's not immaculate, but it's a lot better than what I've already got. So I'll spin you around again and I'll show you the condition of the rear Bootlid. I'm so dizzy, my head is spinning. So this is my new Bootlid, or new to me anyway. Again, it's not immaculate, but it has got a really nice condition rubber seal for the rear window. We've got a little bit of a dent here, but again, it's nothing compared to the massive dent we got on the other one. We've got a little bit of rust at the bottom here. Now this isn't going to be a permanent solution because I actually got a fiberglass rear Bootlid and a Perspex rear screen to go in. But what I want to do is I want to replace the one that's on there with this second hand one, just so it looks a little bit tidier than what it currently does. And I can then use the old Bootlid. I want to try and cut the hinges off the Bootlid. So basically I want to cut here, and I want to take the outer skin off this inner skin, and I want to use this inner skin to bond to the new fiberglass Bootlid, so I can still use the hinges, and then we can then use, like I've got on the Racing Metro, some safety catchers, race pins, whatever you want to call them, in the actual Bootlid itself to keep it shut. Now the only thing that I'm really gutted about is that I'm going to lose all my stickers. I could swap the windows over, but is it really worth it? Again, the rubber seal on that screen is a really nice condition, and knowing my luck, I'll end up breaking something or destroying the rubber seal. So again, really gutted that I'm going to lose all these stickers, but it is what it is. I have got in my arsenal a die cutter, vinyl cutter machine thing. I don't know the exact terminology for it, but you put vinyl in and you press print on your laptop, and that will cut out all these letters, all this sort of stuff that will cut out. So again, I might be able to recreate this. Love this You've Been Overtaken sticker, Mighty Car Miles things, and not really a fond love with the chopped fingers. Love the little snail. don't worry, zip tied it. Yes, absolutely agree with that. And then we got the old owner, the House of Mods, on his YouTube channel, which you'll probably, if you want to go and have a look at his channel, that'll give you all the early days of this car and how it was built. So I guess without further ado, we will make a start on getting the wiring out, because we'll need the wiring for the rear number plates. We'll get them out, just come through here. There's a washer pipe and some wires for the central locking, but we won't be using any of that, just the ones for the number plate. So we'll pull it out of here, all down through the pillar of the boot lid, and then we'll see if we can at least cut the unnecessary stuff out. We'll need to obviously take the struts out, just a couple of little clips that pings out of there. Again, I'm not going to worry about changing the boot lock open over, because I never lock it anyway. Just, I'd rather someone just open the boot and take what they're going to take rather than smash a window. Just my mentality really. Yeah, so we won't worry about swapping the locks over. And then we'll probably just whip this rear spoiler off. I'm not too sure if I'm going to stick that on the new boot lid or not, or if I'm going to keep it off, get it all prepped and painted with when I obviously do the cutting of this boot lid for the fiberglass one, and we'll stick it on the fiberglass one. Or I might get another boot spoiler, and yeah, we'll see. There's ones that come up on eBay, but they want the whole boot and they won't post the whole boot because of damage, and they won't take the rear spoiler off because of damage in it. But yeah, I was really lucky to find that rear boot with in as good a condition as it is, and have it delivered for under £100. I think the boot was about 50 quid and delivery was like 40 quid. So right, let's crack on and let's get this old tailgate off and make some headway, hopefully on this short video. So just in here, you'll see a couple of little nuts. I've already undone one at the two. And again, on the other side, you can see there's a couple of nuts, and that is on the actual, underneath the headliner. So you'll have to peel back all the headliner, which is glued on this inside edge and underneath the seal. But luckily, the car don't have a headliner. Race car. These cars are so simple to work on. I think I'm just going to clean up all this gunk and grime in here while I've got the boot lid off. We will give this car a good old detail once we're all together running and before we take it down to the dyno. But I'm just going to clean this up because you can't get to it when the boot lid's on, annoyingly. And then I'm just going to strip around all this wiring. This we don't need. The heated rear window I'm just going to take out, and then yeah, hopefully I will just cap it off down here somewhere where they go up into the, actually look like we've got some plugs here so we can just unplug it. Even easier. Look at that. Can't moan at that, can we? After about 10-15 minutes of detaping the loom, I've decided that I can take this purple and white wire out. I think that is for the catch to say that the boot is closed for the alarm, I believe. And also we've got a couple of earths. Again, this one is for the catch to say the door's shut. Could actually be central locking, not entirely sure without looking at the wiring diagram. And then we've got the heated rear screen earth. There's like, if I move this boot out of the way, there's like an earth splice here. So we've got the earth for the heated screen, we've got the earth for the door latch, and then we've got two earths for the number plate lights. So we just need to keep the number plate light wiring, and then that can all stay in there. We'll tape all this back up again. I've removed this piece of loom, again it just unplugs. I believe that is for the heated rear screen. So this is the earth or the live for the heated rear screen, and then this end we've got the rear wiper wiring. So that can all come out. I don't need heated rear screen. Again, when I convert all this to fiberglass and polycarbonate rear screen, it's not going to have heated screen anyway. So just need to cable tie these little bits out of the way to the additional or to the other wiring. This stuff here can stay there. So just got to tape all that up, clean up around the frame, and then we can put on the new boot lid. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. I mean, we're pretty level at the top. I can't go any higher. The hinges are at their maximum, so as high as that's going to get. Although the roofs still do feel a bit higher than the actual boot lid itself. I mean, gaps down here look even-ish. Has that got a damaged bit there? No. It all looks relatively even. All looking down the side here. This light here is pretty perfect. But this light here you can see this little dent here that's pushed this bit of the boot lid out, so it's not quite as flush as what it could be. But I think the old boot lid, where it's had a whack here, that's pushed this light unit in as well, because as you can see, got a little bit of the light sits further back in. So again, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. I am going to have to just sort the latch out here as well, because you really do have to slam it to get it closed. So the next step is you need to take all this cover off, remove the wiper mechanism, remove all the old wiring, and hence the reason why I took the wiring out the way I did out of the boot lid, because the wires have been typical breaker, just cut. Instead of unplugging it here and pulling it through, they've just cut the wires. So yeah, just got to pull all that out, and then obviously feed our nice new loom in, our number plate light loom, all wrapped up in nice amalgamating Tezza tape. And the old boot lid came with, or the new boot lid came with this bit of rubber, so we can stick that in, and that will hopefully stop it leaking water in through there. Right, I've just made a massive mistake. I'll say massive, but it's going to cost me a few minutes, shall we say. I've literally just pulled out all the number plate wiring out from here, and I could have used it as my guide. I could have taped my new number plate wire in onto the existing wire and then pulled it through. Yeah, rookie mistake. Now I've got to try and fish something down through here, down this pillar here, through this hole, so I can then obviously attach my wire to pull it through. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, as I say, such a rookie error. Just got so involved in just trying to strip everything out that I just completely lost track. But there we go. I will find a way, and we will see if we can get this number plate wiring through into the boot lid. I've managed to use some of the old washer pipe. It's flexible enough but still rigid enough, so I've shoved it down this hole and got it out here, and then I've got another bit that I've put all the way up through, and that's coming out up the top here. So I've already taped my bit of wiring to the pipe, so hopefully now if we pull the right bit of pipe we can start feeding it through. You just got to be fairly gentle with it, try not to pull off any of the plug ends, and then you can see try and get these plugs in the hole. Again, just try and be gentle, because you will quite easily rip the plugs off the wires. Right, now we've got it to this point, I'm going to undo this tape here, tape it to the next bit of pipe, and then hopefully we can pull it through to the rest of the boot lid. A little bit of an update. All the wiring is now in, clipped up, all down. The boot is on. I've cable tied the wire just to the body, just to stop it rattling around. Again, these wires are just cable tied to the existing light wires to stop it obviously flapping and making noise. I put in this spare boot thing. There's no wires in there, but it just plugs up the hole to the body to stop water getting in. And that's about it really. Obviously just push these in. All the heated rear window don't work now. We've taken all the wiring out. I haven't even got the switch for it. Have I got the switch for it? I have got the switch for it, but again, I never use it, and I will be changing it at some point for obviously the fiberglass boot lid, so I won't have heated rear window anyway. I've just adjusted this catch here, T40 Torx bit, just brought it out a little bit, and now hopefully that should close nicely. Put the grommet in. Everything seems to sit alright on this side, colour match is okay. I did do a little test piece here with the machine polisher that it came out alright. I mean, the rest of the car is neither here or there really, isn't it? And again, we've got obviously this bit of damage here on this corner which sticks out a little bit, but I think it's a lot better than a nasty old dent we had there. So I think the next thing we need to do is I'm just going to clean up all these number plate sticker pads. I need to get the number plate sticker or the number plate off my old boot lid, but I think we need to see if these number plate lights work. So we'll just go in and turn the old lights on. Yep. So they all work. All the lights at the back work. Happy days. Right, let me get the old number plate on, get that stuck on, and then I'm going to decide what I want to do with the boot spoiler. Again, I'm in two minds whether just to leave it plain like this for now until we get the other boot lid on, or put the spoiler on. I think because we got the spoiler, I might just stick it on, even if it is just like that in the poor state that it's in. I've removed the rear spoiler from the car. I'm not too sure. I think it's been fitted to this boot lid. I don't think an Ascot ever came with a rear spoiler. And looking underneath on the other side, it looked like someone's tried to, almost like a bullet hole, trying to come through. So I've got the spoiler off. I'll just give it a quick clean with some all-purpose, but as you can see, it is proper rough around all the edges, and even worse underneath. So I think what I'm going to do is, I've ordered another one off eBay. They're not the cheapest things in the world, but I've ordered another one off eBay. It came with the screw covers, and I've got some 3D printed screw covers which I'm going to fit to this spoiler. But I think what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to give it a quick rough over with some sandpaper, and then I'm going to give it a degrease and give it a shoot over with some satin black 2K paint. Hopefully that won't react to whatever this is, but we can only find out really, can't we? And then we're gonna fit it onto the boot lid. They didn't turn out too great, but there's lots of like creases in there. I don't know if that's stress in the fiberglass, or I don't even know what these are. This is made out of. I think it's some kind of plastic, I believe. But yeah, there's a lot of stress going in. There's some lumps and bumps on it, but yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to take it over to Z vehicle, get it fitted, and then take it back off again and paint it. I don't want to try and fit it while I'm painting it. But yeah, what I normally do is start off these two screws here, get it in line, just screw them into place, drill some holes, screw them in place, get these 4 screws in so it's all level across the top, and then the hardest bit is trying to drill the hole for the stud. And what I normally do is I just rest it on the bodywork and just give it a couple of little movements, a few scratches, and that'll get you in the vicinity. That's only a 6mm bolt, so I normally just drill it out to about 7mm, give you a little bit of wiggle room, and then we've got to go through the double skin, and on the other side I normally drill all the way through the 2 skins, and then I'll open the boot and then I'll go in with a cone cutter or something like that just to open that hole up so I can get a socket in there. Right, let's get you set up and let's get to fitting the spoiler. It's on, so we know it fits. I'm going to take it back off now, just give it a bit of paint. I've got a new can of satin black paint, 2K stuff as well. So again, I'm just hoping it's not going to react to whatever's on here. So we'll give it a proper degrease, shoot it with a little bit of paint, loads of thin coats more than anything. The only thing I didn't do, and what normally happens when you buy these spoilers, is that they should have a couple of clips, one there and one there, that just holds this bottom in. I don't bother doing that. They normally come all broken anyway. A lot of people, they put a bit of Mansory glue or Sikaflex or panel bond, and they just put a nice big blob there just to hold that in place. Again, it's a temporary solution at the moment until we get the fiberglass thing done. You can see here where whoever fit the spoiler has used some kind of bathroom sealant to try and stick it on. So the only other thing you can do is obviously get a trim clip, glue a trim clip onto the spoiler, and then obviously drill a hole for that to push into. But again, I never bother doing anything like that on these spoilers. Just the 4 top screws, the bolt either side, and that's more plentiful enough for me. This one do stick out a little bit, I don't know why, but yeah, it is what it is. Again, just a temporary solution for now. I am going to see if I can try and find my spoiler claps. They are just 3D printed ones. I think you get them from Retro Reproductions. I don't know how well they fit at the minute, but I'll find them and we'll clip them on. But again, we'll whip the spoiler off and start laying some paint on it. That's the spoiler all fitted now. The paint is still a little bit on the tacky side, but is what it is. That'll dry overnight now. It's not the best job in the world. A couple of bits of dirt in it, obviously, because I've been painting it on the floor. You can see all the cracks and creases still in there. Again, I just sanded it down, didn't put no filler on it or anything. Just painted it over, make it look a little bit better than what it was. But is it a little bit better or is it worse? I'm quite tempted to say that I should have left it as it is, because then that'd be an excuse to see why it was in a much poorer condition, rather than spending all this time painting it and it still looked rubbish. But anyway, got my spoiler caps on. They're just stuck in with double-sided tape. When you order the caps off Retro Reproduction, that don't come with a sticker. You have to order the stickers as well, and I would say order them. If not, you'd be tiger sealing them in or something like that. But definitely looks better than what was on there, in my opinion. I have ordered another rear spoiler off eBay. That'll be coming in the next couple of days. And obviously we've got the fiberglass Bootlid polycarbonate rear screen, so I'll do all that properly when we do that section. But for the minute, it's definitely looking a lot more tidier than having that massive dent in there. Another thing I did is I just got my hide hammer and just smacked that corner in, so it now don't stick out as much. But yeah, I think it looks a hell of a lot better than what it did. And got my Rover Work sticker on there as well. If you're interested in any of these stickers, let me know. I do all these myself, and if there's enough interest, I'll do some and put them on the actual shop part of the YouTube page. Now with this Bootlid here, obviously I'm missing all the stickers here. I'm probably going to take the glass out and just have the glass somewhere, but I will have to cut the Bootlid and then obviously take the outer skin off so we can have the inner skin with the hinges on it. So this top part of the inner frame we're going to keep, and obviously bond that on to the fiberglass Bootlid so we can use the hinges, and then we can bonnet pin down here to secure the bottom part, and then we're going to have to reuse this for the number plate lights as well. Now I'm not 100% sure how long this video is going to be. It was meant to be a nice short little video as a filling gap while I'm doing the other jobs on the engine side of things. I've got a couple of things to go on there, so I need a new map sensor because it's maxing out on the full load on a dyno. So once we got that done and fitted, I can then put it back on the dyno and see what sort of power it's going to be achieving. Hopefully in the region of between 270 and 280 horsepower. And if we need to up that boost a little bit on the controller to get at 280 horsepower, then I might do that. Again, I've got a ice box in there for the charge cooler, so I might take some bags of ice and chuck that in the box as well. Help bring them air intake temperatures down as well, especially being that it's middle of summer, it's getting a bit warm. Like today it's like 30 degrees, so I'm literally sweating my tits off. But I think that will do it for this little video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that gives you some information. See, if you ever wanted to fit a rear spoiler onto a Metro, then obviously I've given you that information. So I'll link it down in the description and probably do a timeline as well, so you can skip straight to that bit if you're not interested in the whole video. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, of course. and we'll see you in the next Metro video when we're going to be replacing that map sensor and hopefully taking it back to the dyno.